Hi everyone, it's Kino here. Thanks for joining me for this practice all about wide leg forward fold, increasing your flexibility. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, and let me know how it goes. Grab 2 yoga blocks, the strap, and head on over to the mat so we can get started. In a comfortable seated position, close the eyes and bring the hands together. A long, deep breath in. As you exhale, softly open the eyes, and we are ready to begin. So let's get started on the hands and knees and just bring a little bit of movement into the body. When we're working on flexibility, it's important that we begin to mobilize the joints. So let's do that by starting with cat and cow. Inhale, extend the spine, a deep breath in. Exhale, round the back and draw the navel in. Inhale again, a long, deep breath in. Exhale, round, draw everything under. Last one, inhale, extend a long, deep breath in. Exhale, it's round, draw it under. Come on back to a neutral position, then curl the toes under, and we'll start working with downward facing dog. So let's inhale, send the hips back and up. We'll say hello to our downward facing dog. One of the key components of any forward fold is getting access to the hip joints. So I want you to feel your hip joints. Maybe moving your pelvis, the hips a little side to side, and just feeling the movement of the head of the thigh bone inside the hip socket. And then stabilize your downward dog. If you need to, bend the knees for a moment and straighten. We'll take 2 breaths here. Nice. Notice your back. See if it's possible to release the back muscles. Very good. 1 more breath. Nice. Switch your gaze forward and inhale. Let's step the left foot forward. Then I want you to turn over to the side. Let's grab 1 yoga block, put that block out in front. We're going to work our wide leg forward fold from standing, and then the way that I'd like us to try that is to place 2 hands on the block, point the fingers out to the side, and kind of see if you can rest the weight of your body in the heels of the hands. If that's not comfortable for you, grab the second block and make a kind of higher tower. So now we're going to feel the pivot inside the hip joints. I want you to find your pelvis, so drawing the navel in, widen the legs a little bit, and make sure that we have a feeling that, that the toes are not necessarily turned inward, but just not turned outward right now. So I kind of like to think straight forward. All right. So draw the navel in, and now let's work the different positions of the pelvis. I'd like you to lift your sitting bones back and up, and then I want you to rotate the tailbone under. And it almost feels like we're doing that same cat-cow motion here. Rotate the tailbone under. One more time. When we lift the sitting bones, the forward bend is increasing through the hamstrings and through the back of the legs, and maybe even traveling up into the pelvis. Then when we rotate the tailbone under, you'll feel the back muscles releasing. So we want to kind of split the difference between that. So inhale, straighten the arms, prepare. Exhale, pivot back so the weight travels through the sitting bones into the pelvis. And then as you exhale, let's put the head on the block, taking the hands on the ground. This will allow your back to round a little bit. And what I'd like you to do is push your body weight forward so then there's weight coming onto the block. And we'll hold that there for a couple of breaths. After you feel comfortable here, you can move the block away and then get the feeling that the head can gently move towards the ground. We can pivot around, taking the weight in the heels, taking the weight forward, a little bit more in the head, a little bit back into the heels, a little bit more into the head. Let's do 1 more time. Back into the heels, a little forward into the head. Good job. Then inhale, straight arms. Exhale here. Activate your inner thighs a little bit and inhale all the way up. Hands on the waist. Good job. Shake that out for a moment. Let's bend the knees, straighten the legs. Inhale, extend the arms. A big breath in. Exhale, hands on the waist. Then inhale, prepare. Draw the navel in, lifting the ribs away from the hips, and then pivot inside the pelvis as you fold gently forward. This time, dangle your fingers and hold on to your big toes. If you need to bend the knees to get there, you can bend your knees and hold on to the big toes. If you want to keep the block still there, have it there. Inhale, prepare, a big breath in. Then, as you're lifting your chest, lift the sitting bones, draw the navel in, and then exhale, release the back muscles and aim the top of the head either towards the block or towards the floor. Now we work with the shoulders. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, away from the ears, which actually feels like away from the floor. It may even feel like up because we're turned upside down. We'll be here for 5 breaths. Drawing the navel in helps you release the back muscles and deepen that wide leg forward fold. Good, we'll stay 2 more breaths. Give me 1 more breath. Good, inhale, straighten the arms, lift your chest, exhale there, activate the muscles of the pelvic floor, draw the sitting bones towards each other, and then inhale, come all the way up, hands on the waist. Good. Inhale, back to the front of the mat. Keep your hands by your side. We'll exhale here. Good. Now we're going to work a progressively deeper squat position. To prepare for that, I'd like you to place 2 blocks behind your feet, and let's widen the feet a little bit. All right, now we're going to use a little external rotation, and then as you exhale, deepen the squat and reach the hips back for the blocks, and then we'll sit on the blocks. Nice. Not too bad, huh? Eventually, we'll do that without the blocks as well, but let's start here. By bending the knees, we're going to isolate the flexibility that's required in the inner thighs. This is a place that, for me, is a little bit tight, so I really like working on this. Now, we'll draw the navel in and send the hips a little bit back, hands in prayer position, and separate the knees. Then, we'll work a little bit of flexibility for about 5 breaths. So this is called a yogi squat or malasana position. And we'll hold a few more breaths just like this. All right, let's go for 1 more breath. How about last breath? Good. Now we prepare for dynamic strength. Activate your quadriceps and inhale, lean forward to come off the blocks. Exhale, sit back on the blocks. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, sit down. 1 more time. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, hold yourself off the blocks. Reach under and remove the blocks if that's accessible for you. And then deepen the squat. So now you can sink the hips a little bit. Very good. And we'll hold again. We'll stay here for 1, 2, 3. Notice how the back releases as you bend a little bit more forward. Try to separate the knees, releasing the chest. 4, we're almost there. 5, inhale. Now brighten up the squat a little bit. So now the chest starts to elevate so we can find a feeling of a lifted squat, and we'll hold that again. We have 1, 2, 3, your back muscles are working in a very different way in this position. They should feel like they're engaging, where in the other variation, we bend forward, they feel like they're releasing. We'll stay 2 more breaths. Let's go for 1 more breath. Nice. Now activate the legs. Sitting bones a little towards each other, activate the muscles of the lower abdomen, and inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, samastitihi, hands by your side. Now, inhale, we take a step out to the side. Instead of pointing the feet in parallel position, we're gonna do the goddess squat, so I want you to open your feet so that the toes point out to the sides. Don't push too hard or the knees can get a little too much pressure. And then exhale, let's go down to our goddess squat. All right. So, holding onto the knees, just let's go a little side to side, get the feeling, and then inhale, open the arms, pointing the palms up, extending outwards equally, and hold that. And we have 1. Working the strength, your legs are burning, me too. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Now we're gonna hold onto the knees, and we're gonna add a little bit of a bend forward with a twist. Exhale, fold forward, dropping that right shoulder forward, and we're pushing the right knee out, targeting the right inner thigh. Stay for 1 more breath, back to the center. Try the other side. Good, hold it there. It's intense, nice. Almost there, don't give up. Back to the center. We better do that one more time. Your legs are burning, you need a break, take a break, but I promise we're almost done. Exhale, roll that right shoulder forward. Almost there, feel it, breathe into it, and bring it up. Switch the sides. Feel it, take a moment. Good, breathe into it, and bring it up. Extend the arms, straighten the legs. Ooh, the legs are burning. Samastitihi. Come on back up to the front. Wow, that was intense work for the legs. They might be sore tomorrow. Okay, inhale, we prepare to raise the arms. All the way up to the center line. Exhale, fold forward. Come on down. Inhale, straighten the arms, big breath in. Exhale, back to plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Switch the gaze forward. Inhale, cross at the shin bones and sit down. Now, Upavishta Konasana, what we've been building up for. Take 2 yoga blocks. I'd like you to place those out in front just to get the feeling of support. For some of you, a strap will be necessary for you to get the feeling of the posture. So you can thread the strap around the big toes, and this will help you get the feeling of how to push through the balls of your feet. And then as you exhale, gently moving forward. And I would like to see if it's accessible for you to soften the arms and soften the back muscles, even though you keep holding on to the strap. Many people will do this asana with an extremely straight back and just kind of pivot only at the hips. And what I'd like you to find is both the pivot at the hip joints and the release through the back. So let's stay there with the strap and the blocks for a couple breaths. Wait for the body to kind of sink into the blocks. Then you can switch to having the blocks lined up with each other. And then once you get to the point where the chest is resting on the blocks, then we can move the strap away, because that's probably not necessary any longer. Holding onto the outsides of the feet. Inhale, prepare, and here's where the back muscles engage to prepare, not pulling with the arms. You can really overpower the core if you engage or initiate from the arms. Instead, activate the back muscles, and then exhale, release to fold. Good. The navel stays drawn in. Once you feel that your head gets close to the ground, then let's see if we can move the blocks out of the way. All right? So we inhale, prepare, and you could be holding on here with the strap, or onto your feet. Activating the back muscles, and then drawing the navel in to release the back muscles, the chest, the chin, the forehead, reach towards the ground. And we'll stay here. And we have 1. The legs draw back. The arms are just engaged enough to hold the alignment. 3, gazing at the nose tip. 4, the navel is in. 5, good job. Inhale, straight arms. We come to that halfway point. The back muscles engage. Now we're going to transition. So to move into the transition, we need to understand the difference of the articulation of the prepare to the fold. So now we're going to rotate the tailbone under. And I'll show you the first variation of this. When you rotate the tailbone under, then this will allow you to lean back and come to balance. If it's difficult to straighten the legs, you're going to hold underneath the knees. All right? So as you hold underneath the knees, this allows you to balance, separating the knees and then gazing up. Once this is comfortable, extend, keeping the center of the body drawn in. You can hold onto the ankles, eventually holding onto the feet. Do not extend the back. Instead, keep the front body engaged as you lift from the sternum through the chin, gazing up to the ceiling. And we'll hold that for a couple breaths. Make sure your collarbone, in whichever variation you're doing, remains broad, not collapsed and hunched forward, so we get the feeling of a sense of elongation. 2 more breaths. This is a difficult balance, so you'll notice the tailbone is a little tucked under in this second variation of our wide leg forward fold. 1 more breath. Very good. Let's cross the feet and inhale back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Cross your feet. Come on back to seated. Extend the arms. Tips of the index fingers and thumbs touching. 5 deep breaths. Gaze at the nose tip. Deep breathing. Feel the power and the resonance. Keep breathing. That's good. Close the eyes. Bring your hands in prayer position. A long, deep breath in. As you exhale, softly open the eyes. And remember, flexibility increases with practice. So keep practicing. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be filled with love.